From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 50 days till the kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
All right, welcome back into our Hometown Sports Volume number 2 here, and the week is winding down. We've got the Mountain View Yellow Jackets with us. Coach Michael Gray here joining us to talk a little bit about Yellow Jacket football. And Coach, we're glad to have you along and appreciate you bringing your team.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, looking at you guys recently in 8-man, moving up to 11-man. Of course, we know that Mountain View's been an 11-man team for many, many years. But what was that transition like from moving back to 11-man from 8-man?
The transition was easy. The kids just took it with ease. I mean, we tried to do a lot of the same stuff in whatever level, whatever we were doing. So I feel like it was an easy transition.
I would assume that they probably were glad to. I would assume the community and maybe the team, were they glad to move back to 11-man?
It was taken well for both sides. Just getting to play football
You're right.
didn't matter what level it was, just so the kids got to play.
Well, tell us what a football Friday night is like in Mountain View.
It's exciting. It's a lot of fun. The community over the past 10 to 15 years has really got behind us, and we have fireworks after the games and lots of music beforehand. So it's a fun Friday night, and the community's always there to support.
I haven't had one coach or player come up and say, our Friday nights are awful.
Friday
night,
nights are great.
right? Friday night football is fun in the state of Arkansas. Just the pageantry, the community, everybody coming around, really pulling it with a common goal, wanting their team to win, and that makes for a good Saturday. And probably the offering plates are a little bit more full on Sunday,
Yep.
especially if the Razorbacks win. I mean, you might get double the tithe by the time
There you
it's
go.
over, right? Tell us a little bit about your first season back in 11-man last year, and what you're looking to do this year.
We were really young last year. Coming back to that, we graduated, you know, we had one returning starter last year at any position. So we had some lumps throughout the year. We started off pretty well, but just had some growing pains, if you will. And then as the year went on, I thought we were playing our best football at the end of the year. So we're just want to carry that into this next year with what we've got coming back. We've got a really good group coming back.
We want to thank the Mountain View Booster Club for making this possible for the Yellow Jackets to come in and be a part of what we're doing. So this year, you got a little more experience. Experience it matters in football. I think maybe as much as
Yes.
any sport, experience matters. So, what are you going to do to lean on that experience this year?
Some of these guys you're about to talk to, a good senior group, lots of skill guys back, quarterbacks back. So just like I said, just really excited about this group. I think they have tons of potential. I think our conference is loaded with tons of potential. I think everybody has everybody coming back. So should be an exciting year.
3A2 is probably a little bit underrated as far as
Definitely.
conference goes. I mean, you had the state champion
Yeah.
come out of that last year in Salem. Salem kind of popped out of nowhere. They lost some games in conference last year. I will say, as somebody who keeps up with the sport quite a bit and definitely looks at the ranking part of it, I kind of gave up on Salem a little bit last year, and they made me pay for
Yeah,
that.
they were extremely good.
But Salem's not the only good team that you have. Mayflower and Atkins both pretty good. Melbourne's got good tradition, pretty good as well.
Yeah, Quitman.
Equipment
Yeah,
as well.
Quitman's got some very talented players as well.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about your non-conference part of your schedule here. You've got at Cave City, Berryville, and Piggott. I know that Cave City has got a new coach over there, Tommy Cody, and Tommy Cody is one of the best coaches, especially when you talk about bringing a program back to life.
Yes.
He's done a great job in
Yep.
doing that. He did it at Atkins, he did it at DeWitt, and he's done it before.
Yep. So, start off with them. You know, you know somewhat of what to expect, but you don't know what to expect that first game from either side, from either team. So, like you said, the non-conference is what kicks it off, and every game's important, especially that first one.
It's not very far into it that you got Mayflower on the 26th of September, and then the next week you're going to Atkins.
Yep.
That's two tough ones there. Talk about what you expect to see out of the conference this year.
What we just talked about, extremely talented. Everybody's good from top to bottom. Like I said, I know at the end of the year coaches meeting last year, it seemed that every person we talked about was, there's very few seniors talked about. So a lot of returning starters and stars for multiple teams. So every week will be a battle.
You got four kids over here. We'll get to them in just a moment, but let's talk a little bit about some that are not here and some that will help you this year.
Oh, okay. First off, I just want to say that we have really good numbers. We're above 40 kids right now. So to come where we started from 3 years ago, like you said, where we were an 8-man. So that's great. So I don't want to forget I don't want to forget
Right,
any of them
right.
with having 40 plus. But a couple of them that aren't here, Jace Clark and Cannon Clower, Robert Hastings. They're returning starters on the offensive line. So and they play both sides, offense, defensive line. So without those guys, the rest of it doesn't work very well. So Noah Davis is a junior that has looked really good at 7-on-7 this year at wide receiver and safety. And Tyler Newton he's not here today, but he's an exceptional athlete. Doesn't matter what you may have heard his name in basketball.
Hmm.
He's really really good. So I don't want to leave anybody out, but we've got a lot of guys that we're going to depend on, and really excited for the year.
Ultimate team game, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
it is.
it's not even just starters. You got to lean on kids that are going to come in and fill in for starters during the game. And then, of course, starters don't always stay healthy through the season as well. So you got to have everybody kind of pulling together and making this a good team. So you got four over here. So let's talk about these kids that are here right now, and then we'll introduce the first two coming in.
Okay. We'll just start off Caden Manning, linebacker for us. The ultimate football player. That's the best compliment I can give him. Is there's the motor never stops with that kid. He'll start off he may get fooled on a key or something, but when the play's done, he's getting out of the pile.
Right.
So if you had 11 of those guys on defense, you're going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited about him. Hayden Long's our quarterback. He's looked really, really good at 7-on-7 this summer. So the jump he took from the scrimmage game last year to the end of the year, and now taking the next leap into the upcoming season. So really excited about that. And then Cole Gray and Lad Cook play receiver for us, and also in the secondary, and they make plays. Cole's, he's my son, so I'm kind of partial to him, but he knows the game, understands the game, knows where he's supposed to be, and so that's great to have that. And Lad, like I said about Tyler a while ago, he is exceptional athlete. You get the ball around him, he's going to catch it. He kind of showed out yesterday here at Clinton at 7-on-7, had a really good day. I don't know how many times he touched the ball or scored, but it was a bunch and double, triple coverage. So these four right here are big, big, important part to our season.
Before I let you bring those guys in, let's talk about what will it make a successful season for Mountain View this year.
Getting to play Friday nights, be successful, get better each week. You know, the season starts pretty much right now. We're done with our 7-on-7 stuff. So having a successful year is being competitive, giving ourselves a chance to win, and every game matters.
All right. Well, bring the first two in for me.
All right. Who we got first? Looks like we have Hayden Long and Lad Cook.
All right. Hayden Long, Lad Cook coming in, talking Yellow Jacket football. Again, thank you to the Mountain View Booster Club for making this possible today, and all of our local sponsors. Also, we want to say thank you to Cornerstone Roofing for being a part of what we're doing as well with Mr. Alton Irwin. You see the number up there on the screen. Make sure that if you are needing roofing or construction needs, make sure give them a call. Consider them. They're all over the state of Arkansas. So, guys, tell them, I know that we've already mentioned your names, but tell them who you are and what you do for the Mountain View Yellow Jackets.
My name is Lad Cook, and I just think like we're a good team to play together. And this summer, really, we've worked together and we've developed a special connection, and I think it's going to show this year.
Oh, I'm Hayden Long, and kind of feeding off what he said. We've been playing since we're little, so we have a
Yeah.
good connection.
What you're the wide receiver. What position do you play?
Quarterback.
Quarterback. Oh man, you're a big guy to be playing quarterback. Honestly, I mean, I saw the number 10 on you, and I was thinking, yeah, you're a good sized kid to be playing quarterback. What? Tell me about the offense of Mountain View. I mean, you're talking about throwing and catching a lot, so I guess you guys get a chance to put the ball in the air a little bit.
Yes, sir. Last couple of years, it's mostly been run game, but as the years have been going, we've been working more towards the throw game. We have a great receiver lineup, and it's just getting better and better every day.
Yeah, I agree. I think we have many options this year, and I hope we can air it out as much as we can.
Well, obviously, you're pulling down lots of catches and lots of touchdowns, right? Here in these 7-on-7, so you definitely want to be able to do that. Blocking though is a big important part of that, right? And
Yes,
let's
sir.
talk about that offensive line a little bit. Tell me what you got in front of you and how they're going to help you this year.
Oh, we got a good line in front of us. We had I feel like we were a little bit low on experience last year, but we got a lot of experience throughout the year, and I feel like we'll be pretty good this year.
Yeah, we definitely have the talent. I mean, like you said, we're wrapping up 7-on-7, so we're getting into real football starting next week, and I think they'll develop really
Yeah,
fast.
that the offensive line, that's the hard part about the 7-on-7. In fact, offensive line really isn't involved in the 7-on-7. So, tell me a little bit about playing Friday night in Mountain View. What's it like?
Oh, it's awesome. It's you get so much extra energy just from playing at home. It's amazing playing in front of your friends and family, and it's just awesome.
Oh yeah, the community being there. I mean, being able to look up in the home stands and seeing a packed crowd, that's a different feeling.
And it's every Friday night, right?
Oh yes, sir, for sure.
Sir,
Yeah, every Friday night. All right, tell me what it'll be when you look back at the season. At the end of it, what will make a successful season for the Mountain View Yellow Jackets?
I'd say just uh, keeping faith and just not count ourselves out too early. Keep our head in the game.
Yeah, I think going on just growth, seeing growth, like who we were before the season started and who we will be after it.
You guys playing a pretty tough conference, like I told you, coach. There, I think a little bit underrated at the end because, man, Salem, Atkins, Mayflower, those guys are really really good. Quitman right there with them. Melbourne also right there with them. How do you get up there in that playoff mix there?
I'd say we just gotta put the pieces together. We got all the puzzle pieces. Just gotta put them together.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, I just think it's a mentality thing. Like we all know we can do it if we play well together and get it right. I think I think it'll be a great season.
All right, well, guys, tell me who else is coming in here.
We got Caden Manning and Cole Gray.
All right, bring them on in.
Sir.
We've got another team coming in, by the way. Dover. Dover is looking for us currently. They're looking for the auditorium, I guess, currently. So we're efforting right now. So if you see me looking at my phone, no, it's not by the football field. How would you explain where this is? Come here. Let me do this. I'm going to give you my phone. No joke. Come here. Now, how about this right here? Yeah, there you go. Tell tell him how to get here. Thank you. So here we are. All right, tell everybody who you are and what you do for Mountain View.
I'm Cole Gray, and I play defensive back and wide receiver. I'm Caden Manning, and I play linebacker.
Well, I'll tell you what, the ultimate football player. I mean, my gosh, that you can't get much of a better compliment from especially from your head coach.
Yes, sir.
I mean, goodness gracious, there's times that coaches sometimes a little rough on players.
Yes, sir.
And I know a lot of it, most of it's out of love. But man, when you can hear your coach say that, you got to be proud of that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You got to be proud of that. And what's it like being in the home with the coach?
It's he's just my dad at home, and then
Yeah.
we get to the working part. He's just like the
So
coach. He
so
just coaches me every day.
do you leave football at the field and it's just family,
Just
or
my
is it?
family. Yep.
Well, I feel like there's got to be some sort of separation, right?
Yes, sir.
Got to be a little bit of separation there. It's interesting. That's an interesting dynamic. We've had a lot of coaches' sons come up here, so that's a good thing. Okay, gotcha. Anyway, tell me a little bit about playing in Mountain View. What's it like?
Oh, it's great. We have a great community. Every Friday night we have a meal before. We have a great fan base. It's just overall great every night.
I really like the energy when we're there because, like, even when we're warming up, I just look into the stands and there's just people flooding in and flooding in and
Yeah,
flooding in.
get that just a little closer to you. I can hear you, but sometimes it doesn't go out as well when it's not close to your mouth there. So yeah, you watching those stands fill up over there, and so it's got to be a lot of fun to play again in
Yes,
front of a
sir.
big crowds. We've been to games where it's been big crowds. We've been to games. I'll tell you what, we went to a game last year, and I won't mention where it was, but it was rainy, and hunting season was starting the next day. Deer hunting season, modern gun season was starting the next day, and that place was empty. I mean, absolutely empty. So there wasn't a lot of atmosphere there for that ball game, and a guy like you, especially, you got to feed off of that
Yes,
energy,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Ultimate football player. That's good. Tell us about the Mountain View defense a little bit.
Well, I think we have a lot of really good guys that just fit the pieces where our coaches put us,
Yeah.
obviously. And we've had a little bit of trouble with like those little plays that make or break us this year, but I really think in our practices we've been working on it, and I feel like we're not gonna have a lot of those plays this
Okay.
year.
Yeah, I just feel like what he said. We've all come together really this year. We have a lot of returning pieces that I think, will be really good overall defense for this upcoming schedule.
Looking at your schedule here, you've got big home games against Mayflower and against Salem. You got to go on the road to Quitman. You got to go on the road to Melbourne. You got to go on the road to Atkins. I mean, that's tough. That's a tough thing. What do you guys got to do to get up into that playoff picture?
Just be a good team together. Just come together.
I
I
re-
mean, you gotta take each game at a time. You can't just take one game easy, one game hard.
Right.
I really just think we just got to play our best football. If we play our best football how we did at the end of the year, then I think we'll hold ourselves pretty good.
Well, you almost answered my next question, but I hope you'll come up with a little different answer here. When you look back at the end of this year, what will make a successful season for Mountain View?
Just all of us come together, growth. I mean, just helping each other out. Be a good team overall, and just play each game and get better. That's all it comes down to.
I really think like capitalizing on our big plays, those big throws, those big defensive stops, those big fourth downs.
Momentum.
Yes, sir.
It's a very important word.
Absolutely.
It's a very important word in sports. Games are won and lost on momentum alone. So, anyway, well, guys, you guys have done a great job. Thank you to everybody from Mountain View for coming over. I want to say thank you to the Mountain View Booster Club one more time for coming in here and allowing Mountain View to come in and talk about their football team. We also want to add to that the Mountain View basketball teams will be here for our ASN Basketball Classic coming up on January 3rd right here in Clinton. And the Mountain View boys will be playing Lamar, and Mountain View girls will be playing Harding Academy. That's going to be two great matchups there, and we're looking forward to that Saturday, January the 3rd. So we're going to wrap up this portion of the Mountain View preseason preview right here on the Arkansas Sports Network, Hometown Sports Volume 2. And we've got Dover coming in here in just a moment, and Coach Mark King, new head coach there at Dover. So anyway, guys, we'll wrap this part up. We'll be back here in just a moment.
From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 50 days till the kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
We're up. All right. Well, we're back in here at Clinton at the auditorium here. Beautiful place that they've got here. And I am trying to get these links out to the important people. And Coach Mark King has joined us here from the Dover Pirates. And, Coach, we're glad to have you along here to talk a little bit about what you're seeing at Dover right now.
I appreciate you having me.
All right. I'm trying to get this to your superintendent right now. Um, anyway, let's talk a little bit about it. I'll be honest with you. It was a little surprising to me to see you as the head coach at Dover. Not really any reason in particular, just the fact that I felt like out of the offseason hires, I felt like Dover really did a good job in bringing you in there. And so tell me what you saw and what attracted you to Dover.
Well, I guess I built a career as a head coach of going into programs that have been down and kind of going in and rebuilding it. I love a good challenge. And, Dover's been on hard times here lately. I think the last time they had a really successful season was Coach Smith was there when Greg was there. And, it's just a challenge for me. And, it's close to where I was at. The wife wanted to get up close to North Arkansas. We have grandbabies up in Fayetteville and
Okay.
Broken Arrow, and worked at Ozark last year as DC with Coach Burns, and it was just a logical move. Didn't even have to move from the house we're at. It's just a short drive, so everything fell into place, and it kind of like it was meant to be. Came open, and that close to us, and Coach Kelly, talked to him and asked me if I'd be interested in it, and I went and talked to him, and said sure, and so went over there, and things happen for a reason. The Lord's going to put you where you're supposed to be, and I really think that's where I'm supposed to be right now.
All right. Well, that's a good way to look at it. Number one, but now you do have well, not just the fact that the success hasn't been there for Dover, but the fact that you're playing in a pretty tough conference there as well. I keep really pounding on this because I really feel this way. The 4A4 is a very underrated conference throughout the state.
I think it is. It's a very tough conference. With me being in it last year, there at Ozark, really getting a feel for it. It's a very, very good football conference. It's a tough football conference from top to bottom. I don't think they get enough respect throughout the state in 4A. The things that Coach Burns did there at Ozark, his years there, the teams that he's had. And you go from top to bottom. You start with Dardanelle. Coach Vega over there, they're loaded with that bunch of seniors they had with his son leading that bunch. Mina, they're really good now, and just top to bottom, it is a tough conference, and we're going to have our hands full week in and week out. Lamar's pretty good, and Ozark's going to be really good with what they got coming up, and I think they made a really good hire, getting Josh in there, so it's going to be tough.
Coach, you've made a career too out of running a very physical offense. You run the ball real well. That's what you prefer to do. So tell me about how that scheme has been fit into Dover so far. I know they did some version of it, but probably isn't exactly the same as what you want to run.
Yeah, they ran a double wing concept, which is really not what I mean. We're in the flex bone. A lot of people call it a double wing. It's not the double wing, but yeah, we're a triple option team. And I think it's going to fit our kids good. We're not very big. We're undersized. Last year Dover had a lot of big offensive linemen. They graduated all those kids. We're going to be young up front. We're a very young football team. I think we have three seniors uh, and got a good junior class. But they've picked it up well. I mean, since I got there in March, started working on it. We started working in the mornings. Uh, but I think our style of offense with the flexible and triple option is going to fit these kids good. There'll be a lot of teams we can't match up with physically, and I think our offense is going to give us a chance to stay in the ball game and compete.
Yeah, you you talked about your offense a little bit, but you were the defensive coordinator over at Ozark, so I'd assume you're a defensive guy, really.
Well, I am. I cut my teeth as an assistant coach for 13 years or 14 years before I became a head coach, and 9 of those years I was a defensive coordinator. 8 at Ashdown with Coach Ledford, and then when Coach Ledford went to Crossett, I went with him to Crossett, and was defense coordinator at Crossett. Then got my first head coaching job at Parker's Chapel, and a lot of those small schools I called offense, defense, and special teams, everything. But yeah, I mean, I cut my teeth being a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing defensively over at Dover.
I've always been a forefront guy, but I think we're going to go to a 3-4 this year. I don't think we have the personnel up front to run the forefront the way we want to run it. I think what we have will be better off running a 3-4. So we're going to base out of a 3-4. Still be able to get into a 4-man and 5-man front relatively easy, but I think the 3-4 with the skill guys that we have will make us better.
Tell us a little bit about just some of the kids that you're seeing. What are you seeing out of the kids, and then some of the kids that you're going to lean on this year?
They're those kids are hungry. They want to work. I was really surprised at the work ethic they had. It took about a week for them to get used to me and the way I demand things. And I tell you, I'm tough on kids. I mean, I'm old school. I'm an old school coach. I'm a disciplined guy. We're going to do things right. We're going to be there every day. We're going to work hard while we're there. Not waste time, and those kids have bought in. Like I said, we don't have very many. We're looking at about 28, 29 on the varsity, which playing 4A ball is going to be tough, but we'll be ready. We'll be in shape. But the kids have bought in. They're working hard. They just want somebody to push them. I've got a good young coaching staff. Uh, they're hungry. They're wanting to turn things around and wanting to win. I took them to a couple of clinics, especially for our offensive stuff, and I think they're excited. And the kids are excited, and they kind of see we get better every day in practice. We work it. They can kind of see the concepts of what we're trying to do, and they're really excited about it.
Tell me about what you think has changed for these kids since Coach Cox left and you came in. I know you said you're an old school guy, so has there been any kind of adjustment to that?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more demanding than Coach Cox was. Coach Cox a good football coach, and I think he's going to do good things over there at Two Rivers. Uh, I just think it was just a fresh face, just a different, I think they know my track record and the success I've had in coming in and building programs like they have, and every place I've been has been down. I've never walked into a program that was a winning program, and I think those kids saw that, and they know I know how to build a program from the ground up, and to me it starts with discipline. Everything starts with discipline, and the kids have bought in, and they're just really excited.
And that's good. Number one, you need excitement. You got to build excitement to build momentum, and that's what, sports is really all about. Both in the game and out of the game, you got to build that momentum, get that snowball rolling. You know, looking at the conference right now, you got Dardanelle, who by Hootens is rated the number one team in 4A. You got Mina and Clinton. Clinton right now, to me, looks like they might have their best team that they've had in quite some time.
Yeah, they're big and physical.
Mina is always well coached. Ozark, you were there last year. Ozark had a down year by their standards, but you know that they're going to want to bounce back. Coach Watson coming in over there, he's going to do a good job. Lamar is always solid. Pottsville. Now this is the sixth team that I've named here in this conference. Pottsville is always solid. They're a perennial playoff team. And then you guys in Waldron are really trying to figure out how to bust up into that
Oh yeah,
playoff picture.
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's from top to bottom. It's tough. There's no off weeks in this conference. And it's a lot of teams. You get a different look. You're going to get that spread look with Mina, and then you're going to get the spread look and power look with Dardanelle, and then you're going to go over to Clinton, and Clinton's going to run the ball down your throat with that wing tee. Coach does a great job with that. Possible the same thing. Possible can line up and run over you. They can run the spread and do things. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. And then Coach Jones over there at Lamar, he's really good and got those guys going. And Like I said, there's no off weeks. You better be ready to play every week, and that's going to be the challenge for us with the low numbers we have. Is just keep our kids as fresh as we can and as positive as we can, and just play it game and take it week by week.
Now, all of the names that I've mentioned there, as far as teams go, none of them might be as important as that Atkins game that's
Oh
coming
yeah,
up,
yeah,
because
yeah.
that's a big rivalry there, the Rivals Cup there in Pope County. I know that there's a lot of people pointing to that game on September the 5th.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, from the day I got there, everybody was talking about that game. There's stuff in our locker room and in the field house, with the trophies and all that kind of stuff, and there's T-shirts everywhere. Yeah, that's a game that we have circled. That very important to us. But right now, May the most important game for us is Lavaca game.
Yeah.
We've got to get off to a good start. And they've got a good program over there. I think that was one of the wins we got last year, and I think it was an 8-0 game. But they're improved, and hopefully we're going to be improved. So we're looking at that first week right there and getting off to a good start.
Yeah, Coach, tell me a little bit about what the reception has been like from the Dover community since you got hired over there.
I tell you what, everybody's been great. It's been really good. Anything we've needed, people have reached out, and Coach, if you need anything, let us know. We've had a couple of fundraisers to get some things going. Had really good success with all of that, and but it's been the reception's been really good, really good. The community there is hungry to win some football games and be competitive, and there's not unrealistic expectations. I mean, the big thing is that they're looking to put a football team out there that will compete for 4 quarters and have a chance to win in the end. And that's what we're looking at. I mean, we don't have any delusions or grandeur that we're going to go out and go 10-0 and in our conference. I don't know if anybody's going to go 10-0 in that conference. But we're looking to compete week in and week out, and that's what the community's looking for, and they've been really, really, really receptive right now.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that. Y'all've got to be hungry for wins over there at Dover, because they have had some pockets of success there. And it really, even not too long ago, 2014 to 2017, had a really good run there. And they've had some good teams that have come up. I'll tell you right now, if Duran Miller was here, have you met Duran yet?
I don't believe so.
You and Duran really need to get together, because he's with us. He works with us,
Hmm.
and he is a Dover historian. I'm telling you, he knows. Listen, I feel like I should know more about Dover just because I've been around him so much. But he's a big Dover guy, so you guys definitely need to get
Oh yeah,
together
yeah.
there and talk a little bit. But there's been pockets of success there. I know that they want success there so much, and I feel like that you going in there with your track record, I feel like gives them a really good shot of getting that.
Well, I hope so. Like I said, the kids we have been working hard, and we're hoping to have some, quite a bit of success this first year, and get some more kids out. The problem right now is we have kids that aren't playing.
Right.
And it's we have some there's some deals in that town, and I understand it. It's been down so long, the program's been down, for several years, and parents look at it and think, like, we can go do this, we can go do that. But I'm that type of guy. I want my kids to do everything. Play football when football's over with. Go play basketball. Go wrestle. Go run track. Play baseball. Do everything. And a school our size, we need that. And
Yes.
we have some good athletes that some of our baseball players are really good athletes that aren't playing anything but baseball. And I'm trying to change that. And it's just going to be a slow process. And I think the more success we have, we'll get some more numbers out.
That's a long time till baseball.
It is. It is. But it seems like baseball goes. I mean, it's year round there. There's play, 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 and I coached baseball many years. I'm glad I'm not coaching anymore. That's a lot harder to coach in football.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you
A
know
lot more,
what?
a lot more time in baseball than it
There's
is
a there.
football.
Every sport. Coach, you've been in this a while now, and it feels like every sport now is so concentrated, so technical. And we've talked to a lot of coaches, and they have said, you're not going to outcoach anybody anymore. Everybody's good. It's all about the execution on Friday nights, and what you can get out of those kids on Friday nights is really what makes the difference. The Monday through Thursday is great. Coaches put the kids in the position to win, but every coach is good. You don't have too many spoilers out there where you can go, well, that guy really don't know what he's doing over there. We're probably going to roll over him.
Yeah, yeah. You don't find that very often. If you do, you're extremely lucky. It's kind of like needle in a haystack. Uh, that's why we preach, especially with the offensive stuff that we run. It's not about who we play or about what they do. It's about us. And I can go back from the time I've been running this offense, every game that we've lost, I can pinpoint something that we've done. Not, there's been very few teams that we've just lined up and that were better than us and beat us. Uh, it's really what we do, and that's the thing about our offense is timing and execution, and that's why if you come watch us practice offense, we never go live. I mean, we never hit each other in offense because everything we do, we want to move fast and get a ton of reps in, but we want all timing and execution in practice, and that's what the option game is. And then we want Friday nights to slow down for our kids. And that's been an adjustment for our kids right now is learning how to practice that fast, and they're picking it up. But you're right. You're not you can scheme and do all this kind of stuff, but all coaches do that. You're not going to outcoach somebody. You might get lucky and have make a great call against somebody, and but all the coaches out there in this state, and the coaching is just getting better year in and year out in this state. The young guys coming in, they know more than we did when I was their age. They're exposed to a lot more. The game's changing, and but yeah, we have some great coaches in this state. But you have to be prepared every Friday.
Coach, what do you have to do, not just this year, but moving forward to really change the trajectory of this program?
Again, we have to have some success. I think if we have some success early this year, and we get some more kids to come out and play, and winning solves a lot of problems. You start winning games, people want to play, people want to be involved in it, and I think if we do that and have success, and we're competitive in games and not getting blown out, I mean, it's one of the like we talked about. Us going over to Dardanelle week 4, that's going to be a monumental challenge, but if we can go over there and we can compete, and scratch out and be in it in the fourth quarter, and and maybe find a way to win that game, then all of a sudden things start changing in the town. The outlook of the community changes, the outlook of the kids change. Hey, we're not the doormat anymore. We can compete with anybody, and that's what I've been trying to get across to our kids. We can compete with anybody. Yeah, we'd like to have 60 kids, sure, but you can only put 11 on the field at one time. And I'm a firm believer. If you work hard enough and do things right, good things will happen to you. And yeah, I think the success of our program is going to come down to winning some games and being competitive on Fridays.
I want to ask you real quick before we get you out of here. What's the lower levels, the junior high levels, looking like? Because I know that's important to get that program going in the right
Uh,
direction.
Eighth and ninth grade, we're fine. We have a small seventh grade class this year. There's only I think 21 boys in the whole class of seventh grade, and maybe 9 of them are playing
Mm,
football. It's just a small class, but I think the lower classes after that are pretty good. Our eighth grade bunch is not too bad. The ninth grade bunch that we got a good bunch of kids, and a couple of those kids might get moved up to senior high. I mean, I think they're ready. A couple of linemen we have. But I think right now, seventh, eighth, and ninth grade, we're between 30 and 40 right there with a small seventh grade
hmm
class. So, and again, I think the success in the program, those numbers will come up. Some
Sure.
of those kids, but the kids I have, our junior class is really good. There's not a lot of them, but I think those kids are really going to be good. We got a couple kids working quarterback. Matt Krentz and Landon Smith are working at quarterback right now. Both of them are doing a really good job. Both of them good athletes. Jacob Robertson and Riley Cunningham are running backs for our slot backs, doing a really good job. Uh, and up front, like I said, we have one senior up front. The rest of them are sophomores and juniors. So we're going to be pretty good for a couple of years, but they just have to get some success. And I think once we start doing that, then good things will start happening for us.
Alan Russell wants to know where your Ohio State gear is.
I've got a ton of it. I just did, we're representing Dover today. I didn't want to have any Buckeye stuff on. I could roll my sleeve up and show you one of my tattoos right there, my Buckeye tattoos. But yeah, that's my Buckeye brother right there. And
Yeah. Oh
we're
yeah.
we always we're texting all the time, or when something good happens or something crazy. Why'd they do that?
Right.
And it's one of those deals. But no, hey, I'm a huge Buckeye fan.
All right. You got anything else?
Well, you want me to ask the last question, or you want
Sure.
to do it?
Go ahead.
Coach, what would be a successful season for you guys in year 1 at Dover?
Uh, you know, uh, to me, just to be competitive week in and week out. I'm not looking at numbers. Winning 5, 6, 7 games or whatever. Uh, to me, a successful season is if you are competitive week in and week out. If your kids buy in and they don't quit from week 1 to week 10, And I've been on both ends of it. I've been on, state championship teams, and I've been on an 0-10 team. And the success, everybody rates success with wins and losses. To me, just being competitive. If we can be competitive for 4 quarters, week in and week out, I think that'll be a successful season. But again, we have to get off to a fast start. We're looking at those 3 non-conference games, and I think if we can come out of those with some wins, get rolling in conference, then we have a chance to make some noise.
All right, Coach Mark King has joined us here on the Hometown Sports Volume 2 as he is previewing the Dover Pirates here on our Arkansas preseason preview. Coach King, I say thank you for coming up, making the effort to come up
Hey, I
here and
appreciate it.
talk with us. And we're looking forward to seeing what happens with the Dover Pirates. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got Quitman and we've got Perryville about 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. So we're going to get to it there when they get here. So thank you for joining us here. And again, this is Coach Mark King for the Dover Pirates, and I'm Brad Caldwell. We'll be back in just a moment.